Greetings, fellow conquerors, and welcome back to England here in EU4. It's kind of late, and the recording situation is similar to the last episode. I'm kind of tired. Not feeling quite as silly as I did in the last episode, admittedly. That was pretty silly. Some shenanigans were had. And, I hope it was still entertaining to listen to. It was certainly fun to record, I know that much. I was so tired yesterday. I still am, because I'm an idiot and I don't sleep much. Of course, I'm kind of an insomniac anyway. But let's get down to EU4. Right, so... Current king, King Edward VI, he's not bad. Our heir is basically the same, but 1 point better. So, it's not horrible. So this is kind of bizarre. And actually, no, it actually makes a lot of sense. So... Austria is 25% weaker than we are. Castile is 5% weaker than we are. And the reason for that is because, first of all, Castile has 15% land morale from their traditions. And Austria only has 10%. And also, Austria lost the emperorship, so he's kind of reeling from that. Now, something's going to give here eventually, and it's starting to seem like, from my perspective, that going after Austria might be easier, because first of all, Saxony is the emperor, so who cares, kind of. If we ally Poland, let's see, Poland does have the union over Lithuania. Okay, they gotta fix this, man. Why? See, they need to give these to their personal union partners. Doesn't really make much sense for them to take it, because they can't even core it out there. Like, Denmark's got all this land out here that's at like 75, 80, 90% autonomy. Just completely worthless land, for all intents and purposes. But if you go here to our lands, like, a lot of this is, nice 0%. And 37. And, well, first of all, we need to make this into a state. That just needs to happen. It's a newer mechanic, and most of my time playing EU4 was definitely before this was a thing. Before territories were a thing. And so I forget about it sometimes, admittedly. So how much development we got here? It's like 15, or 25 rather. 37, 54 development, so it's like 540 total. Half of that would be like 270, and then minus 25%. Although I don't know if the 25% is applied before or after having it. I guess it doesn't really. Well, yeah, it would probably apply to the initial. So let's say that's like 125. Well, probably more like 130-ish off. So, we could probably core it, would be my estimation. Yeah, 201 cores all of it. And that's going to seriously lower the autonomy in those regions down to a very reasonable 20-30% across the board. And we're going to see a ducat a month increase. Cavalry combat ability increase is okay. I mean, we have a lot of cav, actually. Like, a lot of cavalry. We are still in the early phases of the game, though, where cavalry is still very relevant, of course. As of this episode, I've turned off Bloom. And I don't know if you can notice it, but for me, I'm noticing a drastic increase in performance as far as the actual game goes. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. But, right, I keep meaning to talk about the game. My mind is wandering right now, because we're out of a war, not really at any risk of getting rebels anytime soon. And life is pretty much really easy for us. We have a truce with France for another 12 years. Obviously, we don't want to wait 12 years for a war. But in 5 years, Austria would be willing to join us in a war against Denmark. Whereas Castile and Portugal would basically never do that. At that point, the question becomes whether or not we can beat Denmark, Norway, and Sweden on our own. I think that'll be something I measure when we actually get down to the wire. But we need to recover anyway. It couldn't hurt to spend 5 years just building our manpower back up, I think. I'm actually curious how much we would get back by waiting 5 years. Like, let me do the math on that. Well, let's see. That's 400 times 12, so 4,800 a year. So we'd have about 20,000 by the time the timer wears off for Austria. In the meantime, we definitely want to get some more ships. What's the let's see what the Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian navies look like. And their armies, too. Actually, yeah, armies are probably more important right now, I would say. Denmark only has... He's down to 2,400 manpower and 11,000 troops. Wow. That's so bad. That's so bad. And yet Sweden's independence desire is only 23%. Alright. Let's look at Sweden and Norway's army. Norway has 6,000 troops. And Sweden only has... Well, he's got 9,000 right now. He's got a ton of manpower. But really, that's not that many troops, all things considered. But let's look at their navy. Let's see what's going on with their navies, because that seems like it's going to be the more important question now. Denmark has 2 light ships, 21 galleys, and 2 transports, for a total of 25 ships, most of which are warships. That's more dangerous than our fleet, especially in enclosed waters. The Swedish fleet is 13 galleys. Whew. And the Norwegian navy is going to be 2 light ships, 8 transports, so not really a factor. So we're looking at beating about 30 galleys, which I think we can do if we build some carracks. Do we have any docks? Do we have those yet? Yes, we do. Oh, these increase force limit, right? Yes. God, it's been so long since I've done a proper campaign and actually thought about these sort of things. Like, I've played here and there intermittently, but usually as like land empires, and I don't ever worry about shipyards because it's a luxury for most nations that can actually afford them. But we're gonna go and pop down 2 of those. I'm gonna go ahead and lower troop maintenance. Now I wanted to bring something up. Somebody mentioned in the last episode that by lowering fort maintenance that we're losing army tradition, and he's right. But the problem with keeping forts maintained is that we lose so much money because each fort is about 2 ducats a month, I believe, to maintain, which is just insane. Oh, sorry, it's 1 ducat a month in maintenance. Still, that's a lot of money for just something that just sits there and generates military tradition or army tradition. And another thing I wanted to talk about, something else I'm kind of like frustrated about, is the fact that England gets literally no land ideas now. Sorry, they get 5% discipline. God, they used to get infantry combat, like 10%. Back in the day, and now they don't. They get sailor recovery speed instead, because that's what you wanted, right? That's what we wanted. We wanted sailor recovery speed. Like, you take manpower recovery speed, which is pretty good, and then you're like, oh, let's do it for sailors. Let's put this into perspective. Each heavy ship is 200 sailors. We have 9,339 sailors at our command. To deplete that amount, we would have to build 45 heavy ships. which is, let's see, it's like 4,000 50 times. It's like 4,250 ducats, I think, something like that. It's a lot of money. Lose 1 stability or 116 ducats and 0.5 corruption. I'd rather take the ducat hit because our economy is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, another thing about this episode. This is also the first time I've recorded anything while having a dual monitor. I can actually see my entire recording software on my other screen. And for those of you already thinking it, yes, I am thinking about streaming as a result of this. For those who have made it this far into this series. And I really look forward to trying it. I don't know how high of a quality I could do it in, because it already takes me forever to upload videos. Just to YouTube. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see how well I actually did with that. Words escape me. It's late. I shouldn't be recording, but I really wanted to record. I love making videos. It's so much fun. Oh man, Denmark is really... Wow. Denmark is 300 ducats in debt. That is no small amount of money. And Muscovy is scary. Look at Muscovy go. Apparently the Golden Horde is somewhere in this mass. But Muscovy has just gone, you know, off the walls here. How close are we to Diplotech 9? Oh, we're really close. We could almost buy the better ships. Still, we just need ships, period, first of all. Then we can think about attacking Kildare. Desmond is starting to lose claims, which is not something I'm really encouraged to hear. We should fabricate claims on Desmond, by the way. I just remembered. You know, it's really interesting thinking about it like this. You know, with how real empires like collapse because they got too big and they got really complacent and lazy. And it's really interesting, like, playing a big empire and sort of feeling like, we're already big. We don't have to keep trying our hardest. We don't have to play. We don't have to play as well. It's fine. Everything is fine. Oh no! Oh, holy crap! What is this? Tafilalt. Holy crap! What are their? Oh, they get generic Berber traditions, but hey, that's crazy! Oh, look at Portugal. Portugal's eating up the coast. He's going nuts. What a hero. We are going to start upgrading some of these ships, albeit very slowly. Alright, we are going to save up for Admin Tech 8 for 2 reasons. For one... Oh, hold on. Ooh, 1 stability or 25 legitimacy. I think we take the stability hit here, actually. As much as I hate it. Oh, wow. Have more, let's see. Sing Britannia rules the waves. Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the wave. Or Britannia rules the waves. Probably rules. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. We need to have More total ports than 30, that's fine. Have more or equal heavy ships than 50. Have more or equal light ships than 50. We get naval leader maneuver +1 forever. That's cool, but we need 50 heavy ships for that. That's 25 ducats a month just in maintenance. But anyway, Admin Tech 8 gets us the active uniformity. It may seem like a fairly useless tech, apart from the number of states. But yeah, Tech 8 always gives you the active uniformity if you're a Western or Eastern nation. So it's notable for that reason. And we're going to start upgrading some of these ships. Very slowly. Bring our navy up to date as much as possible. Probably end up fighting with ships that are half up to date and half not. See, we only have 18 transport ships, and I'd really like to get more. So let's do that. Build 3 more. 21 should be enough, because our army sizes are 20 and 21. So that should be good enough, I think. France, of course, fabricating claims on us, because why wouldn't they? Pretty quiet episode so far, apart from me jabbering on about various things. I think we will pick up the idea here for Land Leader Fire. It's just good, you know? Let's see. To upgrade this entire fleet is going to be 354 ducats. Which, obviously, we don't have. And our light ships are going to be another 283 ducats. Oh, no. Well, then. Yeah, it's going to be expensive, that's for sure. Oh no, Muscovy's got internal conflicts. Sucks to suck, I guess. Is that all of Austria's army? Is that it? Need to check the ledger here. I feel like I'm missing something. No, they've got 34,000 troops. Okay, there they are. There's the other 17k. Whew. I was really worried that Austria only had 16,000 troops. I was starting to regret my decision of alliance. Now, before we upgrade any more heavy ships, you know, we'll consider the ones we do have to be, you know, the pride of the fleet. We'll pick up Admin 8. Cool. And we will pass the active uniformity because it's it's a gross net bonus of 1 missionary strength. But we're gonna upgrade. I want to upgrade the light ships before we upgrade the heavy ships, and really I need to build more light ships. But let's start another debate in Parliament. Sailors were such. This is another thing I'm kind of mad about in this game right now. Is sailors were like a good idea on paper, but are completely meaningless in game. Sure, lose Navy tradition. I don't care. 5 legitimacy, 10 prestige. Let's take the 5 legitimacy hit. 80. I'm content with 85%. That should be good enough. And then yeah, we're gonna save up. Well, first of all, this fleet really needs to dock up and recover. Now it looks like we're gonna have a fleet of about 12 heavy ships and 14 light ships. We gotta consider we're up against something like 40 galleys. I think the 12 heavy ships will win as long as we're away from inland waters. Okay, and none of this is inland until we actually get to this sea tile here, Kattegat. So as long as we're not in Kattegat, we should be fine. Now, when is the exact day that we could declare, with Austria's help? The 2nd or the 7th of February. Okay, we need to be ready for this. This is one reason that offensive ideas is really good. Our army's elan strikes fear into the enemy. We get charge. No exclamation point, just charge. And we get 25 prestige for free, because reasons. Okay, the time is nearing for the war with Kildare. Our aggressive expansion has mostly trickled down with pretty much anyone who cared, except for Liège. Liège is really mad at us still. He hates us. Let's improve relations with him just to kind of taunt him a little bit. It's like, you like me. You know you like me. Desmond is losing his ambition, but whether or not he wants to, he's going to be coring some provinces for us. We're going to fabricate a claim on Inverness. We really need to just clear out Kildare. Thankfully, most of this Irish clay is fairly cheap, except for Kildare itself. Holy moly, 22 development. I don't know if it starts out that way, but if not, then that's a really good province. It's also the one that Desmond has a claim on, making it especially useful. We are going to go ahead and raise maintenance. Then we're going to combine the fleets. And like I said, I think this fleet is capable of beating the combined Danish and Swedish fleets. We have half the numbers, but we also have 12 heavy ships. That being said, I'm not averse to building another 2 heavy ships just to be safe, and then start working on some light ships as well, just in case. You never know. These sort of things tend to go wrong. Now here's the thing. Somebody mentioned in the last episode, this is the same person who mentioned the forts, that army tradition is going to get low if you don't have enough forts. So the reason we take offensive ideas is because it gives you guaranteed pips. So if we didn't have offensive ideas, this would be a 0-0-2-1, which is awful. But now he's a 1-1-2-1, which is the same as Kildare's leader, just we get a siege pip out of it, which is very nice. It's very good stuff. Now we are going to get ready to... Oh, the Protestant Reformation has happened! Hooray! So we've got a Center of Reformation in Utrecht. I thought Austria owned them, but it turns out they didn't. Now, I don't know how this works. I'm not 100% on this mechanic, but regardless, we're going to go ahead and switch to Protestant, like, right now. Like, today. Because we have 80 prestige. We're going to get 600 ducats and 10% missionary strength for 10 years. And it's going to be rough. We're going to get a lot of unrest. Crazy things are going to happen. Oh, we do get a Center of Reformation that's going to help convert our provinces. So I say we absolutely do this. Alright, first things first, we want to convert our capital. All the outer provinces be damned. Now, one thing I want to check is if we still get the statute in restraint of appeals, and we don't. Okay, so that plus or that -1 unrest we were getting is no longer a factor. Yeah, it's no longer a factor. And our corruption is also going to be rising because of our lack of religious unity, but thankfully, our ahead of time admin and diplotech are going to help keep that from being a major problem. Now, if we look here... Yes, we have a Center of Reformation in Gloucestershire, which is going to be good for us. We are still going to declare the war, even though we're probably going to get rebels, because I am confident in Austria's army and in our navy. But that being said, that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, my fellow Englishmen. And I'll see you on the next one.